It is Tuesday. I am off to work. You will notice that a video went up yesterday, but it was not a D&D video. That's because the Disney video from earlier in the weekend took me a bit of extra time to get up, and I was not able to get a chance to film again yesterday. So I apologize for that. There was no preview for this week's session, so this week I'm just going to have to tell you how it went. So as you know, we left off last week with the group making camp at the edge, at the southern edge of the ice. They had looked around for a village which Seeger's character expected to see there, and they had not found it. They made camp through the night before the hour of dawn. Seeger's character, spotted movement out in the shadows and decided to throw a torch at it to illuminate the area. Him throwing a torch at it caused a pair of spears to be thrown back at him, one of which made contact. However, after the rest of the group was awakened, after a number of very tense moments, they were able to calm the situation somewhat to avoid combat with the 20 or 30 odd tribal villagers that had them surrounded. Would have been a very nice, interesting fight had they not talked that down. Would have also been very interesting had they not made the perception checks through the night. Could have been interesting, yeah. But no, they managed to talk it down into something boring and non-combat based. I'm kidding. Kind of. Eventually, after avoiding combat with these people, they found out that they are the Ice Walker tribe, who are actually the ones that Seeger had thought would be in the area, but they're not behaving as they normally do. They seem very paranoid, very closed off. And basically, it comes out that the Ice Walkers are watching them so closely because they're not sure that if they're corrupted or not. They managed to arrange to move through the Ice Walker territory under guard, and the Ice Walkers escort them through and out of their territory. They make their way north over a number of days. They encounter some animals and avoid them. They avoided a couple encounters with mammoths and giant Fenrisian elk. Managed to kind of skirt their way around those. And made their way to the, surprisingly, northern edge of the ice, which they were not expecting to find. They then, over the course of a little bit of investigation and a little bit of time, discovered that the northern ice had an edge because the Iron Island has icebreakers, boats that actually keep their bay free from ice. So they put their boat back into the water instead of dragging it across the ice on its skis, sailed north a bit further, and found their way into the Iron City, the city of the Iron Masters. They did encounter a icebreaker boat, a steamboat, which for most of the Fenrisians was a bizarre, crazy thing, and for the non-Fenrisians was the first sign of any kind of civilization on this backwater world. They made their way through. They were asked, after saying that they had information from the south, to visit the lawmaster once they reached town. They attempted to do so, found a crowd of people outside the lawmaster's house. Apologies. Found a crowd of people outside the lawmaster's house, and upon it becoming knowledge that they brought information from the south, the crowd shifted to being around them and trying to gain information from them. They ignored most of it. They told a lot of them, your families were probably already dead, so just deal with it. And then they tried to intimidate the rest of them, which failed miserably when Jamie couldn't intimidate a fly. They found out from a guard at the lawmaster's house that the lawmaster was actually not there, and that she was instead at the array. They got some information on where that was. They headed down to it. They found a large building with murals depicting the Star Wolves and all of the gods. And they also noticed that the building above it, sat into the side of the mountain, there was basically a satellite dish. Which, of course, the Fenrisians had no idea what it was. The non-Fenrisians found that very interesting, as technology such as that is still quite rare. Most of Spelljamming Space still uses magical tech, and although this could be some form of magical tech, it looks more along the lines of true tech, which is interesting, to say the least. And we actually left off the session at the doors to the array with them about to go in. So that was this week's session. Next Monday, I'll be back with some predictions for next week. And we'll see how things go from there. Should prove to be interesting. Until then, have a nice day, have a nice week. Like, subscribe, it's appreciated, and yeah, I'll see you around.